That's the story with him so often. Get a few to go, and suddenly he's rolling.
Here in Utah, it's another home game for the Jazz. And the news here, Drew Holiday won't play. The injury going to keep him out.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Scott here, 4kgaming. Thanks very much for joining us. As you can see, we're back playing some NBA2k14 on the Xbox. Let's see how we're going to do.
Kicks it to Roberts. He feeds it to Evans. Here's Steamsma. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Got the ball.
See the stat sheet here on Tyreke Evans. Solid numbers last season. He put up about 15 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he's really been pulling his weight. And we're finding his name in a lot of different columns in their box score.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking for from him, Steve. He doesn't have to be the star, just somebody with solid contributions across a wide range of areas. Pelicans ended up being the name that New Orleans chose when it was all over. And I like the new look uniforms, but they had some other options as well that sounded pretty good to me. How about the brass? Because it gives nod to the music that New Orleans has popularized.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Tyrone Corbin was giving to his team. His point of emphasis was defending the outside shot. He's willing to stretch his D as far as it will go and make the perimeter a very crowded area. Kevin, we'll see how that strategy pans out as this game develops.
Thank you, Doris. The Pelicans making a switch here. Rivers checked in, and it's Evans missing. Well, definitely a nice sounding name. Other options were the Swamp Dogs, the Bull Sharks, the Mosquitoes. You know, Steve, all in all, you have to think they went the right way with the Pelicans.
I don't know. My personal favorite was the Rougarou. I don't even know what that means, but that was in the mix. Would have puzzled a lot of other people around the country besides me, but better than Mosquitoes, that's for sure. Pelicans was probably the right way to go.
And Aminu kicks to Rivers. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Steamsma. Some solid defense from the machine. Last game in New Orleans, they picked up the win against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
And one way to nullify a home court advantage like they did that night, Kevin, light it up from the three-point line. Nothing is more demoralizing to a home crowd.
Steve, you're exactly right. I mean, that was the great equalizer. Their perimeter play definitely took them over the top.
Rivers passes to Evans. Here's the screen. Lays it up and banks it in. Evans has got 5.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the
didn't go
defense
for the pass.
didn't even try to go through that one.
Lucas kicks to Jefferson. Jazz passing it around. Pass to Hayward. Back to Jefferson. Right at the free throw line. And that's collected by Steamsma.
Well, I like the defense there. Right up in his grill, didn't give him a chance.
Rivers dishes to Gordon. And he banks in the layup. Gordon's got his second basket of the night.
Pretty much on my fault.
And that kind of power
and I've
move
gone for
has
the
become
pass
a trademark
again.
for
Come
him.
on.
They set the pick, and looks like the illegal pick was set.
Oops.
Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Well, good idea setting
Can you
that
stop
screen,
me
but
off,
the
please?
execution wasn't there.
No, it sure wasn't. I mean, you want it to be hard, but it also has to be legal.
So for the Pelicans, Smith checked in for Steamsma, and it's Darius Miller in for Tyreke Evans. Here's Morrow. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
Right, I'm just going to go
Morrow's got
stand
it
up
all
front
tied up now
and
for
get out
the
of the way of
Pelicans.
everybody.
Now here's Burke. He's guarded by Rivers. And here's Hayward. He's coming off a 16-point game against Denver. Knocks it loose. It's
Oh,
stolen by
now giving the
Smith.
ball away again. Come on.
With 1 on the clock. Tie game in Utah. And we'll be back.
Wow, that didn't go so well. A little bit rusty. I'm not very good at the best of times, but a little bit rusty.
And off we go. A close game. Now starting the second.
Oh, dear.
Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. They've got Al-Farouq Aminu. Withy is out there with Greg Steamsman. Then there's Tyreek Evans. And it's Gordon in at the point guard. So for the Jazz, their last game, a win against the Nuggets.
And it was so important for their bench to come in and play well in that game. I thought that was critical to the victory.
Well, they got contributions up and down the roster, and that's what you need. Everybody who stepped on the floor contributed.
The shot's good from the
how to
machine.
dunk.
Another bucket in the paint.
I've never really been in
That's
this
something they
situation.
just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Withy passes to Evans. To the inside, here's Steamsma. And count the basket, he was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Boy, what a significant turnaround here in the second quarter after only making 40% from the field in the first.
That free throw good from Steamsma. 1:51 left to play here in the second quarter. Lucas against Gordon. Evans with the steal. Evans left side, feeds to Gordon. Back to Evans. Pass to Withy. Stolen by Evans. Fast break. Here come the Jazz. Jefferson kicks to Hayward. Pass to Lucas. Out to the wing. Outside for Jefferson. Evans dishes to Jefferson. Just 5 on the clock. And it's blocked by Aminu.
In this quarter, he's really been off the mark. He just looks a little bit unsettled.
Gordon the pass to Withy. Gordon with it. Jefferson picks him up. Outside Gordon. The pass to Withy. Soft touch off the glass.
Right now, they've got that field goal percentage up in the low 50s.
Yeah, they're really starting to put it together offensively, looking to build on this lead.
Here's the machine. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Can't shoot.
You know, guys, even though the Jazz have been a team that's been over 500 for the last few years now, they've not been able to really make up any ground in that tough Western Conference. And part of it is because they lack a go-to scorer.
Roberts has checked in for Greg Steamsma. But for the Jazz, they have the size and strength to compete with teams in the West the last few years. But since Darren Williams left, they have been searching for someone that can carry the offensive load late in games.
And that's exactly why they decided to trade on draft night for Trey Burke, the Michigan point guard. And, you know, when you don't have a player who can kind of set the offense up, it's really difficult to get your offense going. That's why they've been down ever since Williams left.
They need this. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
Pretty shot.
And so we wrap up the first half. Pelicans lead by 11.
There's a view for you.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Wow. It's not been going so well.
It's Wednesday night. We're almost the Sprint halftime report, presented by Sprint.
I need my teammates to bail me out on this one.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third.
We saw some good action from Tyreek Evans. He has 11 points and the 2 nice steals as well. You know, as tremendous as his stats are, what I've liked most is just the effort he's put into this game.
Yeah, it's really been something, Clark. The energy that he's brought. He's worked his tail off at the offensive end and first guy back defensively as well.
Hayward 3 and favors the 4. Rush out there with John Lucas. And it's the machine in at the 5. That's the group right now for Utah. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Hi, guys. The machine in their last game against the Nuggets was superb. He ended with 13 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what was a great exhibition on his part. He was just too much to handle as he came off the bench to turn in a great outing, guys. They hope it continues.
Oh, come
That
on.
really was a spectacular game for him, even by his standards.
Well, those are pretty high
sure
standards.
that was on the way
ordinarily.
down?
We'll see how
Didn't
much
feel
it
like it was on
carries
the way
over. It's
down.
not a performance that will be easy to repeat.
But But you like to have that in your arsenal and on your resume so you can call on it the next time you get out on the court. So I think it'll serve him better than it won't.
And Favors kicks to Rush. Pass to the machine. And the foul called on Anthony Davis.
Referee. The reason he's giving them away is because he knows I'm useless.
Favors with the ball. He has 5. Shot clock at 6 to the left side wing. Here's Hayward. Can't get it to go. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season.
And this is a big game, guys, today because these teams will see each other 3 more times down the road. And this one kind of sets the tone for the season series. That sort of epitomized this game, guys. One team going all out, getting rebounds and putbacks, and the other team just dragging.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. I think Steve nailed it moments ago, Clark, talking about, these series of 3-4 games between these two teams during the year, and eventually they'll know each other very well. But as we see now, the slate between them is clean.
And being that it is their first meeting, Kevin, I'm actually anxious and curious to see what's changed in terms of how they come at each other compared to last season.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
Boy, the Hornets were a very young team last season, had several draft picks that saw meaningful time and were even in the rotation. And this team was NBA young, and that often means you're going to struggle on the road.
And there it is again from him. Shot good from Davis. Davis has got 8.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Tyrone Corbin was giving to his team. He told them that their commitment to offensive rebounding needs to be much stronger. He said transition defense shouldn't be the focus. It should be getting to the offensive boards. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the 4th quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't the plan for the D on that trip.
And I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that finish.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
Lucas with it. Now defended by Roberts. Lucas, that's good. And for the Pelicans, Steve, there were teams with fewer road wins than them, but not many. Only 11 road wins for them as they went 11-30 on the season.
Well, and the trouble with New Orleans last year was that they really didn't have any aspect of their game that they could count on the road. And if you can't score and you can't defend, it's hard to win at home, much less win it on the road.
Out of bounds, New Orleans.
I was trying to move.
And now, courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here are the teams that led the NBA in block shots last year. 5th, the Jazz.
I don't think you can ever underestimate the effect that a few block shots can have on your opponent. I mean, it can get into your head as an offensive player. You're going in there thinking you've got a clear path, and then you see the ball going behind you in reverse. I mean, that could be major intimidation and affect your game.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Jason Smith, he's checked in for Anderson. Miller comes in for Tyreek Evans. And Anthony Morrow subbed in for Gordon. Rivers dishes to Morrow. Tries it from 19, and he gets it to go. Morrow's got 10 points. Jazz trailed by 18. Outside Williams. Right side Williams. The shot's good from the machine. He's got 12.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Now here's Rivers. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. He dishes it to Morrow. The feed now to Rivers. 6 to shoot. Rebound, Utah. Rush has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. The dish to Burke to the wing right side. Here's Rush, covered by Miller. Rush the pass to Williams. Buries it from 3-point range. Williams has got his first 3 points of the game.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Every year it seems some player has unfortunate experience of seeing their whole season gone before it even gets started. And that happened for Brandon Rush last year, who tore his ACL in just the 2nd game of the season.
Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. It's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
Park down low
Trying
that
to
time.
move. I hate this damn game.
Let's take a look at where New Orleans ended up rank-wise in the league last year, Kevin. 8th in free throw percentage, 11th in blocks. And they were in the top half of the league shooting the ball from deep. Average to pedestrian, but still fairly effective from there.
And this is a good shooting team, Clark. It really shows in their free throw
I don't know how
percentage.
many
You
times
mentioned
I've been
they were in the top
responsible for
10
so
in
far,
terms
but been quite a
of
few.
free throw percentage as a team last year. And I think it's important for this club to really attack offensively. When they do get to the line, they tend to knock down their free throws, and those easy points go a long way.
Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for New Orleans. Miller kicks to Morrow. Back to Miller. 18 feet away, and he knocks it down. Miller's got his first 2 points of the night. Going back to Brandon Rush, hit from behind as he was in midair. And Steve, do you think more needs to be done to protect players in that particular situation?
Kevin, I think everything is already done to protect players, because the clear path rules, the flagrant foul rules, everything has been done to protect the player's safety. Sometimes it's just inevitable there's going to be injuries.
Well, you always hear about how loud this Jazz crowd is at home, and trust me, it is loud. They are a big part of why the Jazz have been so tough at home for so long, but the personnel of the Jazz has had something to do with that as well.
And as you said, the Jazz very tough at home as always, Clark, and 30 wins for them in this building last season, which usually, Steve, is enough to get you into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat. 30 home wins and you don't get in. It just shows you how difficult and how tough the Western Conference was.
Here's the machine. Second chance shot, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for Brandon Rush. A nice shot by Rivers. And the Pelicans lead by 16.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Evans kicks to Cantor. And the basket good. Cantor's got 4 this quarter.
They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
Morrow kicks to Aminu. Dishes it to Rivers. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, you know, last season wasn't the fast start that Austin Rivers would have liked for his career. He came out shooting very poorly. Really showed he has a long way to go in terms of being a consistent offensive threat. But from what I've heard about Rivers, his work ethic and his hunger to get better, he's going to be much improved come next season.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Smith has checked in. 41 seconds left in the third quarter. Rivers with it. Now guarded by Lucas. Rivers against Lucas. A second chance effort. Lucas with the rebound. Lucas has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Right wing. Cantor kicks to Lucas. 15 seconds left here in the third quarter. Free throw line jump shot. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
That was coming in.
And that's 15 points for the machine. Into Smith. No good with the layup.
Great defense in the paint there, making it tough on the offense.
That's what he brings, a presence. I mean, you saw it on that miss.
Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult.
Coming up, this.
Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
How about the creativity, guys? Terrific vision to pick out that pass and set up the basket.
Some serious creativity. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Evans and Anderson, the forwards. Ryan Roberts out there with Gordon. And it's Smith in at the 5 spot. And yes, sir, that one drops. And that's 17 points for the machine.
Yeah, he's been the key cog in their offense with the way he shot the ball.
His percentage today beyond impressive. Certainly not his fault the score is what it is.
Roberts dishes to Smith. And it's the machine with the foul.
Whoops.
He just picked up his 4th personal foul, and now he's got some foul trouble hanging over his head, guys.
Davis is checked in for New Orleans. Here's Roberts. Utah with the rebound. Favors with a screen on Anderson. Rush the pass to Hayward. Stolen by
I've lost the
Anderson.
ball. I had it
And
and
now
I
here
lost
comes
it.
Gordon leading the break. The shot is off. Great D that time from Rush. Jazz trail by 11. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits.
What a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better.
Well, both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
And the shot
That'll be
is
my
good.
man, sorry.
12 points for Anthony Davis.
Well executed possession. They controlled the shot. Nicely done.
Lucas with it. Picked up by Davis. And that one's good. 19 points for the machine.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school. Just physical play in the paint. Dominate.
Here's Gordon. And Derek Favors pulls it down. Favors got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Hayward kicks to Lucas. He feeds it to Rush. To the paint. Puts up the baby hook. And it's Anthony Davis with the rebound. Pelicans leading by 9. Here's Roberts. Here's Anderson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, he's a spot-up shooter, one of the best, and one of those guys who, if you give him an inch, I mean, that's all it
Closing
takes
this gap,
to let
that's
it
all.
fly and frequently knock down that shot.
There were a lot of questions as to whether Anderson would be as effective coming off the bench as he was as a starter, but he showed that no matter how he's used, he can come in and hit from deep.
The machine passes to Favors. They set the pick. Here's the machine. He's guarded by Davis. Yep, it goes in, and the Pelican lead is cut down now to just 9 in the basket from the machine.
They're doing their best to erase the deficit here with some smart passes and some good shooting. I mean, those two things go hand in hand. If you're going to make shots, then the passes have to be on target and on time.
Evans outside. Just 5 to shoot. Rejected by Hayward. Here's Lucas. Finished off the break.
You know, they've been so effective when they've been able to get the ball inside.
Some real shortcomings from this defense. I mean, they've given up 5 straight looks in the paint.
And for the Pelicans, a nice front court rotation with Anderson, Lopez, and Anthony Davis. And you get offense and, Steve, defense.
Yeah, still young, all on very reasonable contracts. The Pelicans have gotten a lot of phone calls about Ryan Anderson, no question. He is coveted around the league, but they consider him a key piece of this young roster, particularly putting him around Anthony Davis to keep defense off of him.
The offense is clicking for him this half. Absolutely clicking. I mean, everything on point and on target.
Kicks it to Davis. Left side, Gordon. Anderson dishes to Evans. The fader. No good off the front iron.
And he continues to search for his rhythm. It's eluded him to this point.
Now Rush. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Anderson's got his 5th rebound in this one. They host the 76ers after this game, and that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home.
I'll be looking forward to seeing how that Philadelphia game turns out, guys. Wow, such a steady hand. He's the one responsible for getting them this late lead.
Can't argue with that at all, Steve. His shooting percentage has been off the charts.
And favors kicks to Rush. Nice ball movement by Utah. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the New Orleans Pelicans. They host the 76ers after this game. They start a 3-game homestand with that game.
Yeah, you know, the fans out in Cleveland really hoping for a win for their Cavaliers. It's a big game for them.
A nice shot by Roberts.
What are you doing?
Here's Rush. He kicks to Favors. Now here's Lucas. He's covered by Roberts. Lucas, that's good.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Pelicans leading by 8. Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
Well, he looks like he wants to toy around with some of their sets and matchups here.
You know, I don't think you can afford to go through a whole game doing the same thing over and over, and you have to be able to adjust on the fly, just like he's doing here.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Yes, Kevin, Monty Williams was just going over the plan with his team. He wants to make sure they stay assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, saying, I don't want to sit on this lead. Let's build on it and not give them a chance of coming back. Guys?
Outside Gordon. Feeds it to Davis. Six to shoot. Back to Gordon. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. And the Pelicans lead by 10.
Well, here we go again. An open path to the hoop, an easy 2 points. Where is the defense?
For Utah, they've gone 7 of 9 from the field down the stretch here in the 4th quarter. Terrific shooting. Here's Favors, and Utah again with the bucket.
Looked like the defense kind of backed off him, and he took advantage.
Pelicans leading by 8. And Roberts kicks to Gordon. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. They get Derek Favors.
Take a look at what Eric Gordon's been doing. He has 8 points, and he's also got 1 block to add to the mix today.
Yeah, it's just a small part of what's been a solid overall contribution by him defensively.
For the Jazz, this one's not looking good. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Yes, Kevin, Monty Williams was just going over the plan with his team. If what he talked about is a true indication, the pick and roll is going to be their go-to play from now on. He sees that as being their best option offensively. The other thing he stressed was the need to be disciplined on offense. He asked for good ball movement and good shot selection. Guys, we'll see how coach's direction pays off as this one winds down. Kevin?
Thanks, Doris. Lucas, he hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Lucas has got 13 points in the second half. 1:31 left in the 4th quarter of this one. And Roberts kicks to Gordon. Passes to Roberts. And low to Davis. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. I mean, defensively, the wind has just been knocked out of their sails.
Need to get more bodies committed down low.
He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. Lucas has got 13 points now in the quarter.
That finish brings me back to the old days. Silky smooth finger roll.
Down low, here's Gordon. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. 14 points for Eric Gordon.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, going through the motions as it appears. It'll be a nice win here for the Pelicans.
You're right there, Steve. And one area that stands out that we've seen tonight from them, Clark, their aggressiveness in getting steals, something I know that you really value yourself.
Well, it deflates the opposition when you can be pesky defensively, and then it sparks your offense, and that's what happened for them. When you have the type of effort we saw tonight, it's hard to overcome that kind of defensive pressure.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And what should be an exciting 4-game season series between these two teams, they have to feel great about taking this first one tonight against the Jazz.
Come on.
Fantastic show put on. What an amazing game all around it was for Anthony Davis. Every time there was a big possession or big play, he was contributing in some manner. Just a great game for him.
Rivers kicks to Withy, and that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And that call gets an instant reaction from the fans.
Well, that's a whistle that did not go over very well.
Here's Burke. Another miss by Utah. Now here's Rivers. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. How much to be critical of with this win, Clark?
Not at all. I mean, they showed up.
However, I think it was a record point scoring run for me, so we'll take that. But it would have been nice to get a win. The reason we didn't get a win is because I can't defend. Other than that, we did quite well. Still, thanks very much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, follow us on Twitter for